What is up, everybody? So, after 6 turnovers and 6 quarters, Kellen Moore made the decision to bench Spencer Rattler for Tyler Shough mid game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, today we're going to look at the film from Tyler Shough since it's our first time getting to see him in extended action. But I want to start the video by saying we all have to acknowledge how tough it is for any quarterback, let alone a rookie quarterback, to come off the bench cold mid game versus an NFL defense, especially one ran by Todd Bowles, who is going to throw everything at you, right? And especially to come in the game and do it with the first unit, guys that you get barely any reps with. So that's what we're looking at here with Tyler Shough coming off the bench. Let's get into it. Alrighty, kicking things off here with his first pass, going to get a completion out in the flat to Taysom Hill. And I love it, right? They're going to motion over into this nub set where we have Juwan Johnson alone at the top in this nub formation here. And Buccaneers on defense, it looks like it's going to be cover 3. You got this deep safety way back here, right? You got these corners on the outside sort of turned in, looking at the quarterback. Looks like your classic cover 3. And in cover 3, you're going to have your curl flat defender, which is, traditionally going to be this guy right here. He's going to be your flat defender, right? And essentially what the Saints are going to run here is just a curl flat play. So they're going to motion over Taysom. He's going to run the flat, and then we're going to have Olave run the curl, right? And usually you're going to be reading this flat defender, right? If he flies out here to the flat, you're going to take the curl. If he sits back with the curl, you're going to take the flat, right? Easy, one man read. What's this guy going to do? Whatever he does, we're going to do the opposite, right? Well, in this case, the nickel, who is usually going to be guarding the flat, is actually going to come on this beat gap blitz that they beat the Saints with all day at this point, right? This time AK actually picks it up, but so the flat player, or what would be the flat player, is going to come on the blitz, and Tyler Shough is going to notice this, right? And he's going to get it out to the flat right away, right? So I love the decision from Tyler Shough here in his very first NFL completion, right? Regular season wise. So there's the motion. So there it is, right? Right at the snap, he sees this guy blitzing. He knows that's a flat player, and he knows if this guy's playing the flat, that means the next guy over is probably going to have to compensate and fly all the way out here and try to get to the flat as fast as he can, or else there's going to be a huge void. So Tyler Shough sees him blitz, knows that flat is going to be empty, at least for a second, until this guy can make it over, and he gets out right away, right? Speeds up his footwork a little bit because, again, he sees the blitzer. 1, 2, 3, ball out. I love the ball location right over that outside shoulder where Taysom can catch it and run upfield and get 6 yards. Beautiful way to start your NFL career for Tyler Shough. Next play here, this is another nice job of Tyler Shough reading this thing out. So the Saints are going to run a Hank concept. So essentially you're going to get an over the ball route, and you're going to get a flat, and you're going to get a curl, and then you're going to get a curl over here and a flat. AK is going to motion from one side and run the flat on the other. And Tyler Shough is essentially going to be reading this defender here, right? The first read in this play is actually going to be the over the ball route, but this is going to be attached pretty nicely from the linebacker here. So that's out of the picture. So from there we go and we read this player right here, this flat player. It's sort of like the very first play I showed you, right? If this guy plays the flat, we are going to throw the curl, right? If this guy ends up playing this curl, well, guess what? We're going to throw the flat, right? That's simple, right? And Tyler Shough here, you'll see he makes the correct decision. So see at the snap or pre-snap, we motion AK out to the flat, right? First read is over the ball. That's going to be taken away. Look at Shough's eyes. Gets back to the curl, right? Flat player sort of widens out here with the curl. So we're going to have a nice opening right here against quarters coverage, right? The safeties, or this DB is playing deep. We stop on the curl. We have to let this thing go with a little bit of anticipation because there's no deep route taking away this quarter defender. So really he can study this. He can really, give all of his attention to Rashid Shaheed here. And, that's what he does, but we have to throw this thing with some anticipation to avoid that. So we do that, right? Look when we're throwing this thing. Ball's out. We're not quite even sit down in our route yet. Beautiful job. It's on time. It ends up being incomplete, but I mean, not on the quarterback at all, right? Look at the footwork from Shough. 1, 2, 3, read that, not there. Get to your next read, ball out, on time, accurate. I mean, we just got to help our quarterback out. Like this, you have your rookie quarterback coming in, man. Like you cannot drop this pass. Why are we dropping this pass? I love Rashid Shaheed, probably, one of my favorite players, one of my favorite New Orleans Saint players, right? But man, help your rookie out. All right, next one here again. Like this is, how this ends up as an interception is just insane. But so the Saints are going to run a spot concept, right? And we're going to get, we're going to get Olave on the hitch, right? If I can get my pen to work, we're going to get Olave on the hitch. We're going to get Shaheed on the deep corner, and then we're going to get Cooks to the flat, right? And it's Buccaneers once again going to be in cover 3, right? This is going to be your flat defender. Once we see him fly to the flat, we know that the hitch is likely going to be open to Olave, which it is, because your next threat here is going to be this guy right here, right? And you're hoping that by Shaheed running this corner, it's going to stem him vertical just enough to open up room for this hitch. And it does, right? Notice when Shaheed runs by him, look at this defender backpedaling. We sit down on the hitch. We let it go. Again, good timing on the throw. Now, is it the greatest throw in the world? No. I don't know what Jonathan Vilma was talking about, how he should have let him, I don't know what he was talking about on the broadcast, but this throw needs to be in his chest, right? This throw needs to be on him. Now, little inside, obviously, you don't want that, right? But I mean, from this, from what you're looking at now, this just cannot end in an interception. I mean, anyways, so like I said, Bucks are going to be in cover 3. We know that deep corner is going to be taken away by the third. We had that flat player handling Cooks. And again, like I explained before, once we get this guy to backpedal a little bit, opens up that hitch right there to Chris Olave. Again, let's look at the footwork. Just quick little one-stepper. Boom, ball's out. And again, is it the greatest ball placement of all time? No. But do you expect your number 1 wide receiver who wants a ton of money to catch this? Yes. Right? So again, what do you want to see from Tyler Shough here? Is he making the right reads? Is he reading this thing correctly? And the answer is yes, he is. Unfortunately, it ends up in an interception. Next one here, Saints going to start this thing in a 3-by-1. They're going to motion Olave over till we get a 2-by-2 formation with AK in the backfield. You can see when they motion, we don't get any indication that this is man coverage, but they are going to disguise this thing as 1 high, maybe cover 1, cover 3, probably cover 3 by the way the defense is aligned. But at the snap, they're going to rotate into either a cover 2 or a cover 6 look, right? So we get Olave, pre-snap. We get this bump over. Okay, it's likely zone, right? Not always, but likely. And then we're going to get Olave running this little wheel hinge, right? He's just going to run from the motion, and he's going to, once he sees that this DB, Winfield, has like the leverage, the deep leverage, he's just going to turn around and hinge this thing, and the ball's going to be waiting for him, right? And we're going to have Cooks on the deep corner. So we have a smash concept down here, really good against cover 2, looks like that. And then on the backside, we're going to have drive. So we have smash drive, we're going to have a shallow, a deep behind it, right? And if Shough didn't like something over here, he could try to hit one of these backsides, right? And so he's reading this thing. Certainly looks like they spin out into cover 2. You see that guy that was playing the middle of the field is going to end up getting out of there. We got this safety hauling back, but the only thing that makes me think maybe it's cover 6 with cover 2 on this side, cover 4 on this side, that's cover 6, is by the way Winfield plays this thing, right? He's going to travel deep instead of sitting down in the flat, so maybe they're playing quarters on this side. I don't know. Who knows, right? But either way, Shough, he's looking at Olave. He sees all this leverage here. Again, Olave is reading him as well. And when he sees all this cushion, he's going to sit this thing down, hinge it. I know where the screen kind of cuts off, but that's exactly what he does. And again, look at the anticipation Tyler Shough is throwing this thing with. So again, 1 step with a little gather, it looks like. Let's see. 1, yep, boom. Back foot hits. Ball is out. We're not even quite hinged out of our route yet. Right on the money. Olave makes a play, turns upfield, and gets a nice amount of yards. So again, so far here in the film, we're seeing the right reads from Tyler Shough. The right reads on time, in rhythm, exactly what you want to see from your young quarterback. Next one here, this is a 2nd down and 1. Saints are going to try and take a shot here. Perfect opportunity to do it. 2nd and 1, you don't get it. 3rd and 1, move on, right? So they're going to try to get Olave here, and you can see that's the way Shough is looking all the way, right? And I think when Shough notices this defender kind of letting Olave close the gap and sort of sit down, that's when he lets this thing go. And he actually throws a really nice ball just inches away from a completion. Olave can't hold on, and I'm not sure if he could have held his feet inbounds anyways, but either way is a really good throw. And this is a throw that, I watched every single snap that Tyler Shough took in college multiple times. This throw, all over his tape. So many times he completed the same exact thing. Far hash, either go ball or fade. Here we have a fade, right? And I think at this point, again, we're taking a shot. He's looking at him, right? He's checking the safeties. I love how he does that first. Look at his eyes. Looking at the safeties. What are they doing? Okay. We see Olave. Now at this point, Tyler Shough sees Olave has closed the gap on this defender who initially had a lot of cushion, right? So at this point, you like what you see. We see Olave running past him, or it looks like he has a good chance to at least. So Tyler Shough says, you know what, let's take it, let's rip it, let's take a shot, right? So he gives it up. And if you look at Olave, to me, let's see, look at that placement. That is beautiful ball placement. Oh, just inches away from being in bounds. I mean, we didn't hold on to the catch anyway, I don't think, right? Yeah, we end up dropping it. But, I love, Kellen Moore saying, hey, let's take a shot here, 2nd and 1. If it doesn't work out, oh well, move on to the next play. Protection on this play is beautiful. All right, let's look at the footwork from Shough. 1, 2, 3. One hitch, let it go, take a shot. Throw is nice, just out of bounds. All right, next one here. This is going to be one of his bad throws, in my opinion. So up top, 3x1, empty, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3x2, excuse me. All right, we're going to get too high, right? And versus too high on this thing, we're going to read the double slants down here at the bottom of the screen. So we're going to get spacing up top. It's going to just look something like this, right? And then down here, we're going to have double slants. Okay, and when you have too high and you have double slants called, you want to make sure, first of all, you're going to read this thing away from the mic, which is, probably right here is who they pointed out. So the guy you're going to be reading really is this one right here, this linebacker type right here. You're going to read this thing normally. I'm not exactly sure how Kellen Moore himself teaches it, but normally it's taught to be read inside out, right? And especially keeping an eye on this defender here, right? Basically, if he flows outside, you throw the inside slant. If he follows that inside slant, you throw the outside slant, okay? And so let's watch what happens, all right? See how it plays out. So we have the double slants. Reading this thing inside out. Looks like this linebacker has pretty nice leverage on the slant to Shaheed. Okay, fine. Let's move to the outside slant, right? Pretty good coverage still from the DB down here at the bottom of the screen. Maybe with a better throw, we can complete this thing. This is a bad throw, right? And again, playing with guys we're not used to playing with. We're not used to getting a ton of reps with these guys out here, right? But overall, let's see. Yep. Just footwork wise, back foot. Let it go. Yep, just an inaccurate ball, right? Whatever. Happens is what it is. It's actually played really, really well from the Bucs here, especially this defender down here at the bottom. They're just playing cover 2, and this is a cloud, right? Now, how could you make life easier for the quarterback here? Okay, well, instead of just, if we're not empty here, maybe take one of these guys, motion them across into the flat to maybe hold 27 down to maybe, open up that window a little better. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? Like maybe if you motion somebody across here, this guy would have to sort of keep eyes on him because he would be the cloud flat, right? And then, we have this guy occupied here and it would open up a window somewhere in here. But didn't happen. We get a bad throw. Is what it is. Next one here, Todd Bowles being Todd Bowles. Okay, he's going to run like a quarters blitz. I mean, this is, first of all, he's going to try to run this B-gap pressure like he has all game with the safety, right there. We also get another second level defender blitzing. So let's see. Yeah, safety, linebacker blitz. We get a linebacker that was walked up over here. He drops out, and we also have a defensive lineman dropping out into coverage. So a lot going on here, right? And you can see the safety that's walked down way here, he's going to drop into like a quarters match look. And so anyway, at the end of the day, we get him quarters with 2 underneath, right? One being a defensive lineman, one being a linebacker, and we get a 5-man pressure, right? And it's actually picked up okay by the Saints, right? You can see, Fuaga gets bumped by the safety there and ends up having to come off or gets knocked off, and then the pressure comes around the edge. Shough tries to escape. Now, what would you like to see here? Well, we have this shallow coming across from Brandon Cooks, right? You would like to see that be the guy you go to, right? And you can see he looks at it for half a second. So initially he's looking down here, right? He's looking down here. He knows that's going to be taken away. 27 squatting on it. That's taken away. Tight end is taken away. This up here is not going to be open. So really your only logical, go to is Cooks here in the shallow underneath. And you can see he kind of looks at him for a split second, but Cooks is still focused on running his route. He's not even looking back at the quarterback, right? So we got to move off that and we got to try and make a play. Now, could he have sat in this pocket and trusted his protection, right? Trust it, and maybe step up and wait for Cooks to finally look? Yeah, probably. Let's see. AK does a nice job coming around picking that up. Can we step up in this pocket? Probably. Is that what we should have done? Yeah. But we see a nice opening right here. He tries to run through it, gets tripped up. So these are just things that's going to take time and reps to learn, man. This is, like I said to begin this video, not an easy defense to go against. Coming off the bench mid-game, are you kidding me? Show one high, rotate to quarters with defensive linemen dropping out, linebackers dropping out, safeties coming this way, that way. Everybody's coming at you, right? Like, it's just an insane defense to play in your first NFL action. Let's look at it from this view here. See if we get a better look at this. It's just pretty nuts. So he wants over to the right quickly. Eyes on Cook's not there. Sees an opening, tries to escape. Let's look at this. Yeah, we could probably step up, wait for something to open up. Now, another thing is, if I go back here to this, you would like your receiver, like when you see all of this happening, you obviously see we're getting some sort of pressure look, right? Cooks, like, can we get eyes on the quarterback a little quicker? Maybe like flash our hand, do something here, help your rookie out. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right, next one here, we're going to end up hitting Shaheed. And again, Todd Bowles. We got guys mugged up. These guys are actually going to drop out. Okay, and we're going to drop into like a one deep safety look. We're going to try and bring this safety once again, looks like through the B gap or off the edge. It's hard to tell because he gets knocked over. So another, pretty exotic look for Tyler Shough to have to work through here. Again, so we get this little short motion here, right? Now, at this point, let's see. Oh, we also get a coffee house. Okay, we get a coffee house stunt from number 8. So he's going to be mugged up. This one's going to drop out, but he is going to act like he's going to drop out, right? Turn his back and then come on the blitz, right? And it's a nice job getting picked up. So watch number 8 there. It's called a coffee house stunt. Watch what he does. Oh, I'm dropping into coverage. Just kidding. I'm actually going to blitz the life out of you, right? But again, Tyler Shough on time, ball out in rhythm. Again, this is what you want to see from your rookie, man. Play in rhythm, play in structure of the offense, right? One, gather step. We see the leverage over here. Shaheed sits this thing down, hinges, kind of like Chris Olave did earlier, right? He's probably, if I had to, let's see. Boom. He feels the space, feels the void in the zone. Money. Beautiful. Good timing, good ball placement. Nice job. All right, this is a 3rd down and 1. Okay. Buccaneers obviously going to be in man coverage. I mean, man coverage, 1 deep. But of course, Todd Bowles' defense, we're also going to get a blitz. So we're going to get all 4 defensive linemen coming and both of these guys. I imagine it's some sort of green dog when, I have the wrong thing? Yeah. Some sort of green dog when, one of these linebackers sees the running back blocking, they have the green light to blitz. So we're going to get a 6-man rush versus 6-man protection. And, more than the majority of the time when you have a pressure look and it's a 3-by-1 formation, we're going to try to get the ball to the isolated guy, for obvious reasons, because it's a one-on-one and, you like your matchup down here. It's a tight end versus a DB. You love your matchup. You expect your guy to make a contested catch, right? And Juwan down here is just going to be running this little return route. He's going to go inside, try and come back outside. It is good coverage, but again, I just feel like you paid the guy, like you have to rely on your tight end to make these tough contested catches, especially helping out your rookie quarterback, in a game that you're, losing. So anyways, at the snap, obviously we get the blitz again. That's fine, right? Again, we don't panic at quarterback. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying to get the ball out here. It's good coverage. Hits him in his hands. I mean, now Let's see. Is it within? Yeah. I mean, really good coverage. Hits him in his hands. Probably maybe a tiny short of the sticks anyway. And this is something that I mentioned yesterday on Twitter for those of you that follow me. It seems like so many times this season, when it's third down, the Saints, when routes should be ran at the sticks, they run them behind the sticks, just behind the sticks. And it's just like the details, man. It's the details, the details, the details. And like here, like we should be running this thing at the sticks, not behind the sticks. But anyways, hits him in his hand, dropped. Let's look at it from the end zone view, even get a better look at it. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, hurry up, hurry up. There we go. Okay. See the game they're running up front, and they're running stunts with the defensive linemen, with the linebackers are crossing over each other. Let's see. Yeah, man. I mean, we got to rely on the tight end. We paid a bunch of money to make contested catches against defensive backs that are like 100 pounds lighter and 10 inches shorter. Next one here, we got a 3rd down and 3. Okay, Bucks going to be in tight man-to-man coverage once again, sending their second level players on the blitz, right? And we're going to get looks like an in route from Olave, some sort of vertical from Cooks. We're going to get Shaheed down here on, I don't know what he's trying to run, but he gets stuffed. And then we're going to try to hit Juwan down here on this deep out. Now, this is a really nice job from Tyler Shough. Really, really good anticipation. Again, feels the heat coming, but we know we have it blocked up, right? They send 6, right? 4, 5, 6, but we have 6 in to protect. Nice job. Okay. Now at this point, everything is covered. Everything is covered. It looks like he initially wants the receiver up here at Shaheed, but that is just, I mean, come on, like not open at all, right? 3rd and 3, mind you. So at this point, get to our next read, Juwan Johnson. Look where Juwan Johnson is when Tyler Shough starts his throwing motion. Right here. Starting to throw it right now. Look where Juwan is. Okay. Ball's in the air now. Look where it's caught. Boom. That is beautiful anticipation versus man coverage. Boom. That is nice, right? Doesn't panic in the pocket. Knows pressure's coming. Okay. And I mean, if you look at the footwork here, we get 1 and a shuffle or a gather step, right? Don't like our first read. Reset our eyes, reset our feet. And again, the anticipation. Ball is in the air, not even in our break yet. And look where it's thrown. Outside towards the sideline, away from that man coverage. That's gorgeous. I got to run that one back from the end zone view. Look at Shough. He knows they're blitzing, stays calm, looks at Shaheed. Right, it's not there. Okay, look at his eyes. Let's move on. Stay calm. Calm feet. Let it rip. Next one here. Good stuff again, man. Okay, so we're going to get Cooks on this out route. We're going to get Olave on this return, who the ball ends up going to. We're going to get Shaheed on this post, and we're going to get Juwan on this deep out or deep sail route. Okay, and again, pre-snap, we can see, looks like man-to-man coverage, right? But over here, we have Lavonte David. He's walked up here in the B/C gap, right? And, we see that, right? And it's like, okay, well, maybe, we have all this cushion here, man coverage, maybe, right? All this cushion, so we can hit our tight end on this out route, right? Look at that cushion. So at the start or at the snap here, look at the way that Tyler Shough is looking. He's looking that way. But then he sees, Lavonte David's falling off with him. He's going to have him in man coverage. So now we basically have 2 over 1 over here. Look at his eyes. That's not going to be open. Boom. Progress backside before we even get to the top of our drop. I love that, man. Right? Get back to Olave over here who fries his guy on this little whip or return route. Boom. Perfect. Make a play upfield. This is good stuff, man. So again, this is a really nice design here. We get switch releases from Shaheed and Olave, and that kind of helps free up this man coverage here. But again, nice route. Boom. Bounce outside. Good throw. Good catch. Good turn up field. Right? And a Bucks, again, they're just playing just 2-man, right? 2-man under. 2 deep safeties. Man coverage underneath. Right? Again, nice, man. I mean, look at the eyes. Let's look at the end zone view here. Shough progressing through this thing. Okay. Looking left. Okay, he sees that. That's not going to be open. Stay calm. Reset our feet. Boom. Make a throw. Come on, man. All right, next one here. 1st and 10. I'm just laughing at watching Todd Bowles do all his blitzes and stuff. It's hilarious. It's up stuff he runs, but this is essentially going to turn into a cover zero look, right? Like, okay, but he's going to drop out Todd Bowles. That is 2 defensive linemen from this side. Okay, so right there, check it out. They're going to drop out, right, to try and take away any like quick or hot reads from the Saints, which, you know, probably would have been Juwan Johnson here on the whip. And it's just funny, man, watching everybody come from every angle. Anyways, Tyler Shough sees it. He knows he has Shaheed down here, knows it's going to be man-to-man coverage. He lets one rip. And it is just, I mean, oh, fingertips away. Fingertips away, man. Ooh, you got to think with practice time, you know, with them two connecting more in practice, getting more reps together, maybe they can figure out the timing on this thing or where he's going to be. You know, you just never know, right? They don't have a ton of reps together, but man, this was close to being a touchdown. This would have been huge, right? It would have been huge. Okay. But that close, man. That close. And Tyler Shough knows he's going to have to get rid of this thing by the way this blitz is set up. And I mean, just, you know, protection wise, let's look at it from the end zone view here. So what do we got protection wise? Let's see which way the center goes. Let's figure this thing out here. All right. So we have all these guys walked up, right? I mean, you have your bigs on the same side, a boss front, meaning 2 big guys on the same side who end up dropping out, which is insane. So let's see. Do the Saints slide that way? Yes, they do. So the Saints are going to be in 6-man protection. They're going to be sliding that way towards the bigs. So in theory, you would have protection here, off the edge, right? Running back, or excuse me, over here. You would have pinning, squeezing down here. You would have Banks coming out here. And AK would be reading this thing inside out. If we have an inside threat, we take that first. And it basically, after anything that comes other than what you see lined up here, right? So we have everybody accounted for here. Now, if anybody else comes, Tyler Shough has to throw this thing hot. He is responsible for any other defender after these 6, right? Because we have 6 in to protect. If they bring a 7th, we're screwed. It's on the quarterback. He has to get rid of this thing quickly, and that's what he does. Now, does he connect on the throw? No. But again, you're evaluating, is he operating under the rules of the offense and structure? And he is. Despite these guys dropping out, it's a good call from Bowles, right? All Tyler Shough knows is he's responsible for that 7th rusher. He sees it. He's looking at it. He's like, uh-oh, let me get rid of this thing to Shaheed. He knows he has that. Boom. Takes a little bit of a hit there at the end, right? And this is just Todd Bowles being Todd Bowles, man. He's insane. He is truly insane. So when we get 8 coming, AK has to step up for him, right? But we also have 31 coming really in that same gap. So you're just going to overload. It's just an overload, right? With the Saints sliding their line towards the side with the big fellas here. Because, I mean, who expects 2 fat guys to drop out into coverage? I don't, right? So they're going to slide their line that way. And when they do that, again, that leaves that backside 3 over 4. And the 4th gets home. Shough knows it, knows he needs to get the ball out, and he does. Now, we need to connect for that. If it'd be a touchdown, would have been perfect. Would have been the cherry on top here. But we miss, and that's okay. He'll live to fight another day. All right, 2nd down and 10. Obvious passing situation here. So the Bucs, what are they going to do? They're going to blitz. You guessed it. Again, right? They're going to try this safety, or excuse me, this nickel blitz through the B gap that they've beat the Saints with a ton this time. You know, it's picked up nicely, right? Trevor Penning, man, come on, dude. Got to come off that. But Saints, you know, I don't know if this is like the built-in routes or if this is just sight adjusts from the receivers, but you can see they both stop here in the void of this blitzer here, helping their quarterback out. Either way, I love it. It's a pressure plan, right? You have all these guys blitzing here. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy was lined up, but he drops out, right? Let's just throw that thing into the void. Replace the blitzer. It's what you're taught to do as a quarterback. If you're looking over here, you see this guy blitz and you see these other 2 with all this cushion. Well, we know there's going to be a void here, right? The receivers do a nice job helping him out, side adjusting. Maybe it's a side adjust, maybe it's a play called, but the way it's ran makes me think that they adjusted this thing on the fly. Shough lets this thing go to Olave and get 3 yards, right? That's fine. Totally, totally fine. Down here to the bottom, everything was covered pretty nicely. And yeah, you know, can't hate on that. You know, make it an easier 3rd down. But I mean, Todd Bowles, I mean, just relentless. He showed no mercy on Spencer Rattler. He showed no mercy on Tyler Shough. And these, I mean, I cannot express how valuable these reps are for Tyler Shough. Like getting thrown in against this defense is truly nuts, man. Truly, truly nuts. I mean, look at this. Everybody's going everywhere. We were gonna have a free shot with number 8 there. I mean, just by the way it's designed too, right? Just attacking the Saints' pressures. You know, looks like they're sliding to our left again, to their right. Center's supposed to follow anything crossing his face, right? With with Vita Vea coming this way, center knows with these guys dropping out, he can leave Vea and come back off to something inside. That's a nice job by the new center. Trevor Penning, you know, he thinks he's man. He thinks he has him in man protection, right? So he really has to follow him. But then he has to feel the center coming to help him get off on 8. I mean, it's just so much going on, man. So much going on that Todd Bowles threw at the Saints. Next play here, 3rd down and 7, and surprisingly, the Bucs did not blitz, right? So, you know, going in empty, I love it because you can really spread out the defense and create advantages for yourself. So when the Saints here go 3-2, right? The strength of the defense has to go to the 3 receiver side. So if you look at the Mike, he's over here, right? Lined up towards the 3 receiver side because they want to get 4 over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. All right. And so up here at the top, really, that leaves you with 2 over 2, right, with a deep safety. And when that safety deep, it's a true 2 over 2, right? Now, this guy, you know, could fly over here post snap, but that's going to be tough to do. So Shough sees this, he knows. And by the way, this is a nice shot from Kellen Moore, creating advantageous matchups and looks for his quarterback and his receiving core. So really, despite whatever the defense is, we still know it's 2 men over here. And, you know, what we're going to do here is we're just going to hit Cooks on this slant. So we're going to send Olave deep. Well, that's going to take away one of these guys right here. So really, it's up to Cooks to win this thing one-on-one. And really, from the looks of it, it looks like they're spinning into a cover 3 look. You know, pre-snap, it kind of looks like too high, but they're going to spin down into cover 3, it looks like. So really, that's probably your flat player, but he's going to latch on to Cooks because there's no other threat out here. But Cooks just beat him one-on-one, right? Give him a little boop, jab step off the line here, right there. Boop, went inside. Shough, rifle one in. Is that a sidearm? Hold on. Did that a ton in college? It is. Oh, that's what everybody made fun of him for in the combine, right? The sidearm, whatever. Right? Boom. I mean, that's a rifle to pick up a first down. That's deserving of an end zone shot. Can we get behind the quarterback? No. Dang. Hoping for the other end zone view to see this thing. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Beautiful. Ooh, did he juggle that? Not used to that quarterback throwing the ball, huh? That's funny. First down, though. Good stuff. All right, next one here, 1st and 10. Now, this is the only one where I'm like kind of scratching my head, like, why aren't we throwing this, right? You know, it's just spacing, looks like up here. Olave with a little hitch. We're going to have like a over the ball. Same thing kind of down here, right? And he looks Olave's way, and it's open. We have the cushion here. It's open. We have Juwan sort of picking this for us to make sure this defender don't fly out to the flat. And it's there, and he sees it, right? So we take the snap. We look that way. We got our drop. We could throw that. Let's throw it, man. Throw it. But he comes off of it. He comes to Juwan, doesn't like that. Tries to come backside, resets his feet. Good footwork. I like that. And he's going to hit Cooks here, but it's tipped, right? Ends up being hit. It would have been complete, you know, granted that Cooks caught it and it was a decent enough ball to him. So, you know, it looks like we were going to get to a completion either way, minus the tip from Vea. But you'd like to see him hit that first read. It's open. Let's throw it. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to look here. What could be his reasoning? Maybe he thought Juwan wasn't going to get the pick in time. I don't know. Let's see from the end zone view. You know, just forget about the result though. Let's look at the footwork here. So footwork, boom, that's it. One step. Now let's pretend that wasn't actually there, right? Pretend that is covered. What do you want to see from his footwork? Well, you want to see him quick reset step, right? What's he do? Boom, one back step or one hop back, reset the eyes, reset the feet, and get the ball out there to your next read. I like that part at least, right? Quick reset, pressure bearing down, tipped by Vita Vea. So I'd like to see him go to that first read. Not sure why he didn't. It's really the only head scratcher of the day for me, for Tyler Shough. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Next one here, we're gonna get it's gonna be a sack, and it's also gonna be an illegal motion, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, right? But concept wise, we're gonna get verticals from Olave and Juwan Johnson. We're gonna get Shaheed out here, and then we're gonna get Cooks on the shallow, right? So basically, 4 verticals, 3 verticals, whatever. But you know, I first of all, Trevor Penning, I don't know what he was doing on this play, and we'll talk about it. Um, but let's see how this thing plays out. We take the snap. Anybody open? Right, they're in quarters coverage. I should have mentioned that before the snap. I apologize. Bucks are in quarters coverage. They're just trying to protect the end zone at this point. They don't want to give up a touchdown. So essentially, that's going to take away these verticals, right? Quarters, cap that. That ain't happening, right? Shaheed, this thing is played by a triangle. You got 3 over, 1 over here. That ain't open. Really, your only saving grace here is going to be this shallow from Cooks coming across. But by the time it's open, we got a guy hitting us, and we get an illegal motion penalty anyway, like I said. Now, from the broadcast view, I could tell that I don't know what Trevor Penning was doing. So let's watch this thing and try to decipher this puzzle together. So let's see. Okay. So center going this way, looking at the right guard, right tackle. They have 0 and 98. AK would be responsible for anything from the second level that would blitz. They don't, so he can get out on a route. So you end up getting a game, it looks like, from these two. So you have just a stunt from 0 and 98, right? Got your TE. Now, Penning passes this thing off, and he should be there to accept 98. Now, the only thing I can think of why he didn't stay on this is he thinks that 98 is dropping into coverage, maybe because of like how Juwan bumps him off the line and he loses a little bit of ground. But you got to stay on this. Like, this is just your typical TE stunt here from the Bucks, right? You pass this guy's going to loop inside, and you handle it. But Trevor Penning is a little too quick to come off and look for work on the other side, and it just opens up this lane to the quarterback. And Cooks was going to come open, and it looks like Shough. Is he looking that way? Is he looking at Cooks? He looked downfield first. Now he's looking for Cooks. Yeah, he was going to throw this thing to Cooks, but we get blasted. So I don't know, Trevor Penning. That's like, we can't be doing that, man. This isn't, you got 2 guys over here. Does he walk up late? No, he's on there, on the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I don't know what Trevor Penning, what he was thinking, if he thought 98 was backing off into coverage or what, but can't do that, man. All right, this is 3rd and 20. Saints just trying to get some yards here. Buccaneers, they're going to show quarters pre-snap, that two deep look, right? Then they're going to rotate down, right, into 1 high up here, as you can see. Shough just going to read this thing. Okay, see Olave, that's covered. Look at this, the void here in the zone. We see it, rip it, hit it, pick up some yards. Nice, accurate throw. Nothing much to it. Just got to see it and hit it, and we get it done. Try to make 4th down a little easier. All right, next one here. This is going to be a 4th down. We get sacked. Both tackles look like they get beat around the edge. We actually escape out of it. We try to get this thing off to stall. Really the only option too. Nothing's open downfield. Bele's covered in the triangle. Olave would have, maybe we can hit Olave here if we have time. But by the time we have any resemblance of that coming open, I mean, right as our back foot hits, we get pressured. Both tackles get smoked. Let's see. Where's the ball here? So we're at 6. So let's see where our back foot. 7 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards. This is 10. Right at about 10 yards, right? And you can see the tackles. Ooh, that's close, man. We got to step up, but man, that's cutting it close if you're both tackles really on the edge there. 10 yards is really as deep as you want to be. Don't want to go any deeper than that. Otherwise, you're just screwing over your tackles, right? I mean, let's see. Is that about, let's see, 6? Where are we at? So we're at 5 now. 6 yards, 7, 8, 9. This is about 10 yards right here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah. We're at about 9.5 yards. I don't know where I got that extra yard from earlier. But yeah, this will count in my book as a loss for Banks especially. Fuaga definitely on the line there, but we get beat around the edge. Nobody's open anyway other than the tight end and the flat. We try to get it to him, but we can't get it done, and nothing was really open in time anyway. So, pressured, unfortunate, but is what it is. It's 4th and a mile anyway, so you likely weren't going to convert. All right, Saints get the ball back with a few minutes left here. Okay, and this is going to be a drop from Juwan Johnson. Bucks going to be in cover 3 again. And I like what the Saints do here. They're going to flood this side of the field with a deep route, an intermediate, and a flat, right? And we're just going to read this thing. And it's a really nice job of Shough finding the open guy here. So we get to the top of our drop. We have this deep route clearing out this third. We have the flat occupying the curl flat player. And so that's going to leave a huge void in the zone for Juwan Johnson to come open. Again, put the ball on our tight end. I don't think we have to jump for this. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But either way, we put it right on the money, right in his hands, and it's dropped. Again, what can you do, man? What can you do? Watch it from the end zone view here. See if we can get the drop up close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, let's look at the step again. 1, 2, 3. 3-step drop. Couple hitches. Take a hit as we throw it. I mean, oh, it's just, am I the only one that just gets so frustrated? It doesn't matter if I'm watching the Saints, if I'm watching anybody. If I see a receiving core, a veteran receiving core, like just completely not helping out a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback, it just drives me insane, man. Like, you have the perfect play call, you execute it, you have a good throw, and then that. Next one here, you are certainly playing with fire here on this one. So we're going to get this little hinge route here from Shaheed at the bottom, right? Versus quarters coverage, DB playing off, right? So what those guys are taught to do, if they see press, they could probably convert it to a go. But if they have all this cushion, they probably sit down on it. And that's exactly what happens here. And I mean, we throw this thing with decent anticipation, right? Let it rip. And I mean, man, that was close. If you don't, if Tyler Shough doesn't have the arm that he has, that's probably an interception because of how well the DB is playing this. I'd like to see maybe come back towards the ball a little bit if you're Shaheed. I don't know. Either way, this is a really nice job, really good throw, and a beautiful catch from Rashid Shaheed in traffic there. Maybe we can get a good end zone shot of it, but I doubt it. Yep, again, wrong view here. Thanks a lot, NFL. Let it rip. Yeah, I can't see it, but either way, you got to rip that thing in there to complete it, and he does, and it's a beautiful catch from Shaheed. All right, next one here. This is a 3rd and short. We're gonna get like an out and up from Vele and like a deep corner from Chris Olave, and the spacing ends up being weird to where they're in the same area. Nothing's open. Man coverage here from the Bucks. See, we hit the top of our drop. Nothing's open. Right, we get smoked at left tackle. I mean, smoked too from Kelvin Banks. Ooh, that was a nasty rep from that defensive end there against Kelvin Banks. But we try to step up. Again, we escape this thing. Now, at this point, 3rd and short, just run it. Run it. I know as quarterbacks, you want to keep your eyes downfield. It's what you're taught to do. But just run for that first, man. We got guys blocking for you right here. Ooh, we almost complete it. But just run for the first. Make life easier. Get the first down. Next one here, 4th down and 4. Okay, Bucks are going to send a pressure, just 5-man, right? Saints have plenty to protect it, no problem, right? It's probably pick a side, if I can imagine, from Tyler Shough. We know it's man coverage. We got man beaters called on both sides. Okay, so down here at the bottom, we're going to have Juwan on this little short slant, and we're going to have Cooks on the out route up here at the top of the screen. It's really a nice route from him breaking this thing off and getting some separation. Shough is looking to the right. He likes what he sees on the right side. So boom, we set our feet, we plant, let this thing go. Look, we're winding up to throw now. Nice anticipation. Let's see. Wind up now. Not quite out of our break at the receiver position. We throw it nicely towards the sideline. We actually slip a little bit. Cook slips there. Boom, right there. He's able to stay up and make a beautiful catch. That's a nice throw on 4th down and a nice catch. Good stuff. Next one here, this is a nice job of ripping it from Tyler Shough. So we're going to get down here. I think it's tipped in 15, is that I see? Anyways, he's going to run sort of the clear out. We're going to get a Y sail from Juwan Johnson. And again, we're throwing this thing with decent anticipation, on time and rhythm. Bucks, of course, are going to bring a safety or a nickel. and a linebacker here. Guess what? We plant our feet. Look at this. We fake the flat, right? Fake the flat. Why do we do that? Look at these guys biting down on it, right? Let's just open up some more space for us. Do a nice job with the clear out. Well, really, I mean, a decent enough job, I guess. Does he get stuffed here a little bit? Yeah, he does. But he clears it out. Juwan Johnson gets some separation. The nice throw. I mean, he rips that thing in there to Juwan. That's a nice job. Oof. Boom. Last play of the game here ends up in a sack, and the Saints were likely going to have a touchdown to Olave if given enough time here. But we get beat around the edge. Oh, ever so slightly. Right. And we get the quarterback's legs gets tripped up. We also get, pressured inside from Cesar Ruiz. I mean, geez, guys, not beautiful protection for a guy that's had tons of injury problems at the quarterback position. But you can see Chris Olave up there at the top. It's going to come open here. Really nice route. Sell the thing sort of or outside a little bit and bring it back inside. But we get pressured. That's really unfortunate there, man. Really unfortunate. Let's see. What is this? A 3-step? It's a 3-step from gun. 1, 2, 3. So that'd be 5-step from under center. Let's see, we're at 5 yards, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 8.5 yards back. Yeah, can't allow that edge right there, man. Can't allow that edge pressure, or we would have had a touchdown. Let's see. End zone view here. What do we got? Cesar Ruiz pressured inside too. Oh man, that's just unfortunate. Unfortunate. But overall, listen, the Saints, Kellen Moore, you have to be encouraged by what you've seen from Tyler Shough in this game. You just have to. Coming off the bench against a good defense, a play caller like Todd Bowles, I thought he executed the offense extremely well. I really did. I think that it'll be interesting to see which direction they go moving forward, whether it's back to Rattler, back to Shough. I think at this point, you're what, 1-7 now? I mean, come on. I guess it's time to just evaluate guys. I think keeping Shough in there and getting a good evaluation on him would be the right move. But overall, I'm extremely impressed with what Tyler Shough put on tape in his first NFL action.